Hey guys, in this video we will be extending pipelines in Power Platform. This will be step-by-step setup using service principle. In our last video about pipelines, we created a custom pipeline and we deployed a Copilot Studio solution from the developer environment to the test environment and production environment. So now let's jump into this. And first things first, when you're using a service principal, you have to register an app in Azure. And one, no, not Azure, yeah, Azure, of course, Entra ID. And once this is registered, you have to be the owner. So this is really important. The service principal in pipelines must be owner of the enterprise application. So let's create an application, and also you do have to add the enterprise application as a server to server user to the host environment and the two target environments. And once this is done, we will also give this enterprise application this enterprise application some roles, and these roles will be in the pipeline host. We will give the application the pipeline deployment administrator. And in each target environment, we will give the system admin. So this is lower privileges, but can block plugins and code components. And we'll also have to check is delegated in deployment. So let's jump into our admin center and start with this. So I will just share there. Now we are going to create an app registration. And once this is created, we will also, let's see here, let's call it pipeline deployer. And I want it to be a single tenant. Let's see, account only. Yeah, that's good. And I will register this. So once it's created, I will keep it here so that I can add the app ID and the rest. So what we have to do now is to navigate to the host environment. And this I have open here. I do have the testing environment, of course, and the production environment. So what I will do is I will add the user. So how do you add this S to server user? You find your environment first in the environment overview, that is manage environments. And I have the production environment here. So I want to add the service principal to this. So on the axis, you will see the S2S apps, and I will just navigate there, new app user, and add an app, and I will find it as what was the name again? Pipeline deployer. Fantastic, it's there. And let's see, org security roles. I will give it the system admin. But let's see if this works. If we don't have system admin, we can give the system customizer. Yeah, so here we do have the system admin role. Remember, this is important. System admin in the target environment. Roles will be assigned. Yes, thank you. And create. So what we'll do now is I will do this for the rest of the environment and then we'll continue from there. Remember, in the host environment, we have to give the service principal deployment pipeline administrator security role. And once this is saved, you will get the application here. It's added as with one security role, and it's also added to the two target environments that I do have. So now the next step is getting into the Teams pipeline application, deployment pipeline configuration. And I now have to configure the pipeline as delegated. If So in the app, you can see that we have the environments and we have the pipelines. In the last video, we created the Copilot Studio standard pipeline, which is a custom pipeline connected to the three environments, the dev, test, and prod environment. So as you can see here, is delegated deployment is no. So we do have to change this to yes and create, let's see here, is delegated deployment, yes, and type of deployment is a service principal, not a stage owner, and the client ID. Let's see, I have to get the client. So this is the client app client ID, and allowing sharing requests. This will let the deployment requesters, so the people who request the deployment, be able to add a security group that will have the access, or will have access to the solution there, not the solution, but the object they have within the target environment. So this is just to, and this can be, what do I say, the approver can reject this, and then they have to go through the process again. So now we are set for this stage. We'll do it for the next stage too. Let's see. I will just save and close. Deployment stage owner is not the owner of the service principal, only owners. Okay. So this is expected. I will just go and add myself as the owner in the service principal in Azure. So let me go and do that. So I got that error, and I will add myself here as an owner. As you can see, this is my pipeline deployer application, and I just have to add myself here, and I will solve that problem for now. Yeah, system administrator, select, and it's updating the owners. Let's see if this will solve my issue. Let's actually check how fast this can be. So save. Yeah, let's give it a while, and we'll be back. So guys, I did find the issue. It is that I had to add myself as system admin here as an owner in the enterprise applications. So I had to navigate to enterprise applications and find the pipeline deployer app and add myself as configuration owner. So now let's go back to our not agent. We have to go back to our pipeline there. So I still have the error showing up on my screen. So let's refresh. Yeah, same issue again. So let's try this again. We're not giving up, huh? Refresh. Yes, it finally worked. So now we are good to go. We have set up this one, and let's move to pipelines here and go back to the second deployment stage. As now you will see, now it is updated to is delegated. Yes, now we do have to get the last one done. And here we expect it to go as fast as possible. I just have to do this and save and close. Ta-da! So now we do have our pipeline with delegated using the service principle. And what we will do next is we will build the Power Automate flow that will approve the requested deployments. So that will be done in the next video. So just follow through and we will create the flow. I will show you where to find the flow and how to set up the flow in the host environment, and how to set up the security roles and who the approvers are. So stay tuned and see you next time.